Hi, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, happy 2024. Um, this is a video that I didn't think I was going to be making. I planned at the end of last year all the videos that I wanted to do, and I was planning on getting all the parts. Then I washed my car a couple of days ago, and I found that the passenger side footwell was sodden, absolutely sodden with water. And it turns out that, like many Discovery owners, I have got a leaky sunroof drain, the front sunroof drain in this case. So I went on YouTube, like all good DIYers do, to see how to fix this. And one of the things that I've noticed is there isn't a start to finish, cradle to grave repair video for this problem, and it's a very, very common problem. So what you're going to see in this video is you're going to see me finding the problem, a very, very quick bodgy temporary fix where I've taped some black bin bags over my sunroof, as we had a severe weather warning here in Sussex for the end of the week, where we had a yellow rain weather warning. That has held. I've had a space heater in my car for 36 hours constantly, drying out. All the carpets are dry now. I've used my wife's turkey baster to drain the little conduit that runs along the side of the passenger doors, front and rear passenger doors, where all the water goes down, and it just sits in that gully. And will obviously cause rusting at some point. And I then finally used a hairdryer just to make sure that that gully was totally dry. I ordered on Amazon a brand new hose with the adapter that goes through the wall out into the front wheel arch. And I've also got a little bit of tube and a spare screw, and I will be showing you in this video how to remove the glove box without having to buy the expensive Land Rover tool. I've not done this before. Like I mentioned, there's not a really great how-to video for this repair, so I will be learning as I go, so forgive me if I make any silly mistakes. I will try and point them out as I go along. And lastly, what we're going to do is I'm going to use my endoscope camera that I bought to check my turbo actuator, excuse me, and I will be seeing if I can get those to go down the other 3 drain bungs inside the car to check for any blockages, to make sure that all 4 drain hoses are working as they should, and hopefully my car will remain dry. So let's get to it. I'll bring the car off onto the driveway and we'll get cracking. Right, so since finding the water, you obviously saw my quick repair of sellotaping and sealing my sunroof shut. That's because we had a severe weather warning for rain coming in, and I just didn't want to get any more water in the car than I already had. I then put my extension lead into the front, and for 36 hours I've been using my little space heater blowing hot air around with a slight little crack on the driver's side window to make sure that the warm air movement was going through. All taking 36 hours. All the carpets are now dry. All the steam has left the windows and the condensation has left the windows. I used my wife's turkey baster to remove all the water in the wiring channel that runs down the side of the passenger side underneath the door treads. There was about 2.5 litres of water I took out of that conduit. I'm not getting any faults thrown up yet, so fingers crossed I've not had that much damage done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my wife's hairdryer to just blow down into the conduit, into wire conduit, just make sure that that is all dry. And I've had an Amazon notification to say that the new drain tube is arriving this afternoon. So tomorrow I'll be replacing the whole tube from this side drain all the way down inside this A-pillar, down behind the fuse box, and out through this wheel arch. And I'll show you how to do that. And importantly, I'll show you how to get the glove box off without buying the ridiculously expensive Land Rover tool. So let's get to drying out this conduit. As you saw there, there's still some water coming out with the turkey baster. I think I've got it all out now. It looks quite dry. What I might do is I'm going to come back in an hour or so and just have another look in that little ingress by the C-pillar to see if I can see any more water. If I can see more standing water, I may just put the space heater back in the car, get the airflow going, and I have probably half a bowl of the desiccant left over from when I did the compressor filter change on my air compressor earlier last year. I'll just leave that in an open bowl by the water source, get the air moving, and hopefully that desiccant will suck up all the last remaining moisture in the car. Looking down, there's a little bit of mud. There's quite a lot of rust on the trim parts, so I do think that this leak has been happening for quite some time, but it's just the recent downpour brought it up to be wicked up by the carpet, which is when I first realised I had a wet footwell, which is not uncommon for Land Rover owners this time of year. But fingers crossed it remains dry, and we await the part from Amazon. Okay, so here we are. This is the passenger side where the issue is. The drain is up in this corner at the corner of the sunroof. It comes out and then goes all the way down this pillar, down behind the glove box, and out through the wheel arch there. So I've never done this before, and when I was looking on YouTube to find videos on how to take the headlining down, I couldn't really find any, so I'm going to have to sort of work it out as I go along. This, I believe, is quite straightforward. You just take one screw out. I've got all of my tools along with me, my trusty panel remover, a lot of screwdrivers and levers, and what I will do is I'll go into time-lapse mode now, show you me doing it, and then when I've worked out where all the fastenings are and what's actually needed to be done. I will go through it slow time, pointing out how I did it. Okay, doing the other side. Right, so getting that out was a little bit of a mess. As I said, it was quite a lot of exploration for me. However, I have done it, and I'll show you how I did it. So I started off by taking the A pillar off. That was just a Torx bit underneath the airbag sign that came off really easily. Then I took out the hand holder. They've got little flaps. You just bring those down, and then there's some crossheads up there. Likewise with the sun visor, although obviously mine's still attached with the electrics. There's just some little crossheads there. Then I took off the weather trim all the way down the side of this door. Took the weather trim off the back of this, and then that allowed me to take the base panel to the C pillar or B pillar off, and that's the top cover of the seatbelt holder. You've got two little clips there, and they clip up in the grooves up here, and then the little yellow body poppers, which we're used to, and then that's allowed me to get the headline down enough to expose the weather pipe. Now you can see we're leaking from the top, and that's probably why when I bought the car I noticed loose felt. That's probably come from a leak which they've bodged. That's the problem with buying cheap spares or repairs Land Rovers, I suppose. But there it is. There's our pipe going all the way down below the dash, and up here, this pipe going onto the sunroof drain fitting just here, and there's the base of the sunroof. Right, my next job is to take out all the trim, and then I'll start tackling the glove box. We all know how to take the trim out, so I'm just going to do that in fast forward. If you don't know and you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them. Right, so I've got all the trim off now. A few of the panels I've forgotten how to do, but I got there in the end. Time to take the glove box off. And what Land Rover have done in their infinite wisdom is, I can only describe them as like pineapple pins. So the pin goes all the way through, and then it has at the end of it some legs that pull out. So once it's gone through, it springs out and it holds the pin in place. So you can either buy a very expensive tool from Land Rover to take the glove box out, or you can circumnavigate it. I'm using a little offcut of air pipe from when I repaired the air system, and a little bolt that I found knocking around in the bottom of my toolbox that fits the pipe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the end of this pipe over the end of the glove box pin, and then use the bolt to push it through. Oh, the police are here. Push the bolt through, and then take the pin out with my tool on the other side. Just pull it out, and then there are two of those, and then the glove box will come away as well. So I won't do it in time lapse this time. I'll do it in normal speed. I apologise for any huffing and puffing that you hear, or I'll try to keep my language PG. Thanks. Open the glove box, depress the hinge bits on the other side, on each side, and it'll pop down like this. And here is the access for the pin. So I haven't tried this before, so if it doesn't work, we'll work another thing out. Yeah, that's worked. Oh, bugger. I'd maybe use a slightly larger piece of pipe, but that works. No! Fuck. Right, apologies for this. Right, we're back again. I've got a slightly longer piece of pipe this time. Oh good, and I've instantly dropped it down the hole. Lovely. Right, right, we try again. Has it worked? Sort of. So there, I've actually managed to break the bottom one off, but you can see there's a little tab there, but we've got one out, and I can confirm my tube wasn't big enough. So I shall go and find a slightly larger tube. Right, I'm back. I found a new piece of tubing, which if any of you have these new hot cold mugs with reusable straws, I'm sure you'll realise, but fortunately for me, my wife doesn't watch my videos, so she'll never know. Right, onwards. Yeah, done it. I tried sawing it and it just wouldn't work, so I just grit my teeth, try one more time, and there it is, people, the glove box. The glove box is out. Yes, bosh. Right, what I'll do now is I'll open the bonnet, disconnect the battery, and let the battery and the electrics all calm down for about half an hour before I start taking the main fuse board out, which is right there. We're winning. Right, the battery's off. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee, let all the charge and all the electricity run out of the system for about half an hour, and then I'm going to start tackling that fuse box. Right, we're back. I've let the car drain down all the power for about half an hour. Now I'm going to take the main fuse board out. Again, I couldn't find a video that sort of really detailed showed how to do this and what process to do it in. So again, it's another exploration. We'll just see how we go. All right. Oh, that's not good. Okay. So you've got some quite big wiring blocks. I guess that they seem to be all color coded. So you've got to have the hands of a small child to do this as well, which I don't. God almighty, why do they do it? There we go. First one out. There we go. Okay, so they sort of have clips and levers. So that green one is the first one that I've taken down. I just clipped the lever out, pulled it down, and it popped out. The next one I've done is that orange one, so I've just clipped the lever out, and now I'm going to pull it down. There we go. See, I pulled the lever down there, and that comes away like that. And then I do this blue one. The blue one clips up, I think. There we go. Yeah. Blue one here clips up. And pull it down out of the way. Right, I've got the front big clips off. I know there are some bolts to undo. I don't know where they are, so give me a moment. I'll find them and I'll point them out. These are the bolts we're looking for. This one here, and then there's another one hiding up there. Get those out, and I'll get those out, and then I think my understanding is the fuse board will then unclip from the top. I can take the back pads off. Right, so here's the central fuse box. I'll show you the order that I took them off in. So I took this one off first. You pinch and then pull the lever down, and the connector comes out that way. I then took the orange one off, pulled the lever down, it came out. Again with the blue down here, pulled the lever out, and then the green one you pinch the little connector and it comes out. You got then two 10 millimeter nuts come out of there, and then it's just held in by two locating pins at the top. At the back you've got two connectors as well. You have to reach your hand up the back, you pull it down a little bit, make yourself some space, reach your hand up the back, and then these connectors have levers that you have to lever up and they just pop out. So you just, with your hand up the back, lever it up and that comes out, and then the central fuse box comes out quite easily. Looking at this, I can't see any water staining anywhere, which is great news. Means I don't have to have that repaired. Right, let's find this, find the foot of this hose pipe now. Right at the end of my spanner there, that is the drain hose coming down. There is the bung at the bottom, and if I can zoom in, you can see, not really, it's pulling out, so the water has been coming out, probably leaking out of that bad join and out of there, running down and causing all the wetness around here. I'm now going to investigate how I can get that to move, and I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be what we're going to be doing is we're going to pull the pipe down from the top and then thread the new one all the way back up. But I have no idea how to do that because I've literally never seen a video that does it. So I might, we're losing a bit of light. It's pretty cold now. I might call it a day for today and start back tomorrow, as I think I've made some quite good progress so far. But I'll have a little look and I'll work out how to do it. And once I've done that, I'll show you. Okay, so that's the end of day one. I really thought that this was going to be a quick, a couple of hour long job, but for a novice like me, it's taken a lot longer because I was breaking a lot of new ground. Just to recap, I've taken the headlining down, taken the A pillar off, taken the glove box out and all the trim out. I've got the main fuse board out as well, and I've located the bottom of the hose. So essentially we can now see top to bottom. We lost the light and I got really cold, so I've come in, had a shower, started making dinner. I've got a mug of tea and a chocolate eclair, and I'm going to think about how I'm going to thread the hose. Obviously, I'm going to have to pull the old one down all the way through down to the bottom, but I don't know how I'm going to get the new one back up quite yet. I might have to get a little bit of wire and tape it to the end of the hose or something. I don't know, but we'll find that out tomorrow. But for anyone who is a novice beginner like me, this isn't a one-day job. I don't think this is a weekend job, which is quite amazing because jobs that I would consider more complex, like a brake replacement or something like that, you can normally do in a day. But this has been so fiddly, and having King Kong fingers is not. This is not the job for you. You've got to have really small hands to get up to undo the clips at the back of that fuse board. But we soldier on, and we start again in the morning, and hopefully have it repaired by the time it's Sunday lunch. Right, see you in the morning. Right, so day two, I'm here with the car. It is 1 degrees today. I've got a bit of a cough, bit of a chest infection from making myself cold last night. What I've decided to do is use my trusty endoscope to go down through the dash to see the route it takes when it goes out of sight. And then I'm just going to hope and pray, I think. Let's get to it. Right, so as we can see from the endoscope, there's one clip just past finger reach, irritatingly, on the dashboard, but in the dashboard, which holds the pipe in, and then it is just jam-packed through the cabling. It looks like a very tight fit. So I think I'm going to undo it at the top and pull it through from the bottom, and then try and push the hose up from the footwell up into the A pillar. I think that's probably the only way we can do it. But this is a working problem, so it could evolve. But let's see. And pretty horrified to come face to bum with that dead wasp. Right, so here we are. I'm going to get up into this headlining, take the top of the pipe off the sunroof fitting, and then start to unclip it all the way down till it's loose. And then I'm going to undo the bung at the bottom and start to pull it through. And then once I've got the pipe out, I'll worry about how to get the new one in. Right, into time-lapse mode. See you in a bit. Right, I've got the hose out. That was a lot less griefy than I thought it was going to have to be. And it's very safe to say we have found the problem. So from my research on this problem, the Land Rovers were built with a one-way valve on these pipes, and they would often get blocked. So what people did as a quick fix is they cut the end of this off, which has meant that there was no grip in the bulkhead, and this has just fallen through and has been causing the leak. So we are now on the rebuild phase. Yes, we will try and get the new pipe up and through, and then get all plugged in, and fingers crossed it will be straightforward and I can get out of the cold. Right, let's have a look. Bye. Right, I've got the new hose. Here it is. As you can see, it's got that long nipple on the end that will go through the bulkhead, and then that will seal in, making sure that all the water goes out of the car and not in the car. So now all I have to do, I think I'm going to start off being really lazy and feed this down through the dashboard from the top, and let's see if gravity can help me a little bit. Failing that, I will then push the other end up and we'll work our way up the A pillar. But either way, I'm going to go into time-lapse mode. You'll watch me try both, and then I'll let you know what I did that worked. All right, bye. So I've got the hose out of the dashboard. It's gone a slightly different route than the original one was, but it was just too tight to get it through. But it follows more or less the same route. I'm struggling now to get the nipple through the bulkhead. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the passenger side wheel arch off, so I can try and get my hand up on the inside of the bulkhead to pull that out from the outside and see if I can work it through that way. All right. Right, I've got the grommet in. It was a bit of a fight. Basically what I did was there's a lot of cables coming, big chunk of cables coming down. I pulled the hose through. I got some washing up liquid and lubed up the nipple, and then with my thumb on one side of the cables and my forefinger and middle finger, I located the hole and located the nipple to go into the hole, and then just sort of massaged the nipple into the hole until I felt that it was all the way in, and then I've literally spent an hour pushing it and massaging it, for want of a better phrase, like thumbing in a softie. And if you know what that means, you're a man of my age. And then I took off the wheel arch, took the wheel out, and up in this cavity up here, right up in the top, you can feel the nipple coming through. So I got my bent nose pliers, located the nipple in the pliers and just pulled it top and bottom until I felt the nipple pop through home, and then I checked in the footwell, and I can see that the pipe is now perfectly seated against the bulkhead. So now we are done. The repair essentially is done. I now have to fit the hose all the way up the A pillar, cut it to length, push that back onto the top of the sunroof drain, and then we're in business. Right, so as you can see from the two endoscope videos that I did, the bung is now fully seated. What I've done is I've brought the pipe all the way up. I've clipped it in underneath these. These are the heated windscreen sensors. They just clip in and wrap around, and then it's gone all the way up to here, where I've put some washing up liquid over the end and pushed it in. So it's now fully complete. So what I will do now is I'll go and get the master fuse board and put that back in, and then it's a case of doing everything that I did to take it off to put it on in reverse in that order. So I'll go get the fuse board and I'll show you in which order I'm going to put the clips in. So here is the master fuse board. There is a way that it has to go all back in, and you start off just doing the furthest away first. So that one will go in first, then this one, then I will push the board all the way up and seat those in the top. I will then put the red holding clip in there to hold it in place, and then I will do the two 10mm screws bolts at the bottom, and then I will go this one, then this one, then this one, and then the green in at the bottom. Put the battery back on, and hopefully Okay, so that's the end of day two. I've got the headlining put back on, I've got the A pillar put back on, and that's about it. I got the fuse box up and down inside that cavity hundreds of times. I've spent probably 2.5 hours so far fiddling with the with the box, trying to get the wires at the back in. Really, really frustrating. I just think it's a test of patience. That's all. I've managed to get my hand up, managed to locate the ports into the connectors, but when I reach up to pull the lever down, the connector comes out. So that's just, if at first you don't succeed, try again. I have put out a few messages on the Land Rover technical groups and the Land Rover Discovery owner groups to see if anyone's got any really wise words. One person has said that to pull the wires out, the blue and the green wire up and out of your way to give yourself some more room to turn the fuse box, which I tried, and it does work. It gives you maybe half a centimetre more, and when you've got big sausage fingers like I have, half a centimetre makes a lot of difference. So that's it now for the week. I'm going to have to go back to my day job and then crack on next Saturday. Just repeat and rinse until I get it in. As soon as I get it in, I will show you, and I'll tell you how I did it if I have any brainwaves. That's it. Right, see you next week. Hello, welcome back. This is day three, weekend two of repairing the sunroof. Um, I've had COVID this week, so I've not been able to do any work. I've still got quite a nasty cough, so I'm not going to give it too long. I've looked online for any tricks or advice on how to repair this, how to get the back connectors onto the fuse board. And there is no real advice other than be patient and find someone with small hands. Well, I don't have someone with small hands, so what I've decided to do is try tying a little bit of string around the levers and running them down the back of the unit. Put it using my hand to locate the connector in the fuse box, and then I'll pull the lever down with the string and see if that works. Um, and if that doesn't work, then I'll just have to wait until I'm feeling a bit better because it's really cold and I've still got a bit of a nasty cough. So I don't want to be out of the cold for too long today, but I want to give it a try. So let me get some more layers on and I'll see you back out by the car. Right, here we are. I've tied the string onto the levers of the orange and the green. I'm going to try and get the orange one in first, then the green. I'll put the orange and pull the lever, put the green in, pull the lever, locate the pins in the top of the bracket up there, and then push the bolts through the bottom of the fuse board bracket, get it tightened up, and then connect the other four connectors. Right. Right, so yes, got the orange one in finally. It's taken about 2 hours of just lying on my side, fiddling. The string did work. However, when I managed to get my hand up at the back, you can see I've cut myself a couple of times. I put the orange one in, and there's a little like a little finger clip that you can hold one finger in. I then managed to pull the string enough to get the lever to locate. However, some of the wires behind got in the way, so the string broke, but it managed to pull the lever down far enough for me to be able to reach up and bring it all the way home. So the orange is in. I'm just going to have a couple of sips of my cup of tea and see if I can get the green one in, which will be a long way to being finished and home. Yay! Yes! Bosh! Done it. Taken time now. 3:30. It's taken 3.5 hours to get those two plugs in today on the third day of trying to get them in. Basically, once I got the orange one in, I was able to turn the fuse board enough so that I could see where the green one needed to go, and I was just very careful. Well, that's the end of our video. I've got all the trim back in place, all the door seals back in, everything back where it should be. A couple of errors came up on the dashboard, a couple of fault codes were thrown up, a suspension fault code, but I think that's more to do with a week with no battery and the system having a bit of a meltdown about that, more so than anything more sinister. I'll do a little bit of research around it, and maybe a video about chasing that fault code. Really happy that this is done. I don't ever want to do this job again. It's the most fiddly, awkward mechanic yoga job I've ever had to do. It's taken 3 days. This isn't a how-to guide, this is a how I did it guide. I hope this has been a useful video for you, and please do write in the comments. I'll answer all questions. I'm open to as much advice as possible, so if you've seen me do something glaringly obviously wrong, please do write in the comments. It will help me and it'll help anyone else reading the comments, and I do reply to all comments. So hopefully the next video will be a coolant flush and an expansion tank change, because my one's really manky. Anyway, really happy to have got to the end of this. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.